Welcome. We have been waiting for you to tune in to hear tales of Prince Edward Island, a place of history and some mystery. You may be surprised by the true stories that have been unearthed and brought to life by our radio dramas. We invite you to settle into a comfortable chair and let the voices and sounds trigger your imagination as you hear the following dramatic story.
When Britain entered World War I on August 4th, 1914, Canada was at her side. Many young Prince Edward Island men hurried to the armory in Summerside to join up for active service. The recruitment propaganda effectively sold the need to support king and country and convinced farm boys, who rarely made it to the next community, to see Europe while earning a good paycheck. Nationally, 1 out of 3 native men signed up for war service. The native community of Lennox Island in western Prince Edward Island saw 32 of its 64 eligible men enlist to fight for Canada. For many, their motive was that of attempting to earn the respect of white islanders. John Henry Mitchell was one of those men to fight in the trenches of Europe.
This is the hardest time for me. These moments just before the battle begins.
Quiet. Do you want to bring enemy fire on us? We have to await the order of the 105th Battalion to engage in battle.
Sorry, I'm anxious. They never said at the recruitment office that it would be like this. They just said it would be good pay, good food, and we'd be home by Christmas. God, the Germans are so close in their trenches. I can hear them scurrying like rats.
Look to your left. See the enemy sniper behind that tree line? He's just sitting there waiting to take us out. We need to get him first.
How? Besides, we haven't been given orders.
You can't always wait for orders. Think for yourself. If you want to stay alive in this war, listen to me, John Henry. Circle round back and creep up and take him from behind. You have to kill him so he can't kill any more. Lives of our soldiers depend on you now, John Henry.
I know. Back off, I'll do it. How can he not hear me coming? The sound of my own heartbeat is deafening, yet he seems totally unaware of me.
Quiet, Henry, quiet.
John Henry, what have you done to our father? You've split his head open with an axe as he sat milking the cow.
Oh, my God. It is my father, Anthony Mitchell. Where are the trenches? Where are the other soldiers? This is not the battlefield of France. What have I done?
You've killed our poor father.
No, not my father. The voice said he was a sniper. I must get away from here. I must hide.
Of the 32 men who enlisted from the Lennox Island Reservation, 7 were killed in the Great War and 13 were wounded. But John Henry's wounds were not visible. With his return to Lennox Island following the war, his behavior had become more and more menacing, and many in the community feared him.
Anthony Mitchell's head has been split open. Hopefully he never knew what hit him.
John Henry never should have been roaming free. We all know he's been demented since the war.
It's not his fault that the things he saw and did in battle have driven him crazy. Now we have this awful crime against his own father.
He has to be found before someone else is hurt. The authorities must be sent for.
He ran off into the woods.
And who of us is brave enough to search him out? He's demented.
Look, there he is, coming out of the woods himself.
Quick, we need to hide.
Don't fear me. Please, don't fear me. I am myself again. The voice is gone. I accept responsibility for the death of my father, and my heart is filled with sorrow, for I have killed a man whom I love. It is one more nightmare to add to those that never leave me. Get a rope and tie me until the sheriff can come for me.
John Henry was removed from his home by Sheriff Wright and taken to the Prince County Jail at Summerside. the community of Lennox Island mourned the death of Anthony Mitchell, who is favorably known throughout Prince County, as well as the loss of young John Henry.
The Great War never stops taking from our men.
Shell shock was the name given to the psychological trauma suffered by the soldiers of World War I. John Henry was not alone, for over 80,000 men in the British Army broke under the pressure of hand-to-hand battle at the front. The Army was slow to respond to shell shock, telling the soldiers they had to deal with it in a manly way. Men who fled the battlefield in panic were often executed. Those who kept fighting began to suffer the same pain they inflicted on the enemy. Snipers became blind, and soldiers who stabbed and killed with their bayonets suffered stomach pain.
I thought when I came home to Lennox Island, I would be healed by its beauty and the love of my family. It's not working. The demons in my mind are too powerful. How can I live with myself?
John Henry's Nightmare. Introduction was by Lowell Eustis. The narrator was Stuart Smith. The actors were Ian Campbell, Greg Weeks, Alexa McDougall, Michelle Askew, Catherine Dixon, Nathan Wiley, and Brent Slater. Musician was Christine Anderson Gallant. Foley artists were Krista Carruthers, Alexandra Gallant, and Paul McWilliams. Recording artist was Peter Gallant. Scripts were written by Marlene Campbell. The scripts were researched by Jean McKay. Prop managers were Carol McFarlane and Sabrina Webster. Brought to you with the support of Canadian Heritage and the Prince Edward Island Department of Tourism and Culture.